or else they'll join us in just a little bit. We want to make sure we're using your time wisely and not wasting your time. So hopefully your day is going well. It's beautiful weather outside. Just want to give you the update if you have not heard already. Obviously, for us, we'll be doing this sort of learning through the rest of the school year. We had two different press conferences going on yesterday. So let me share with you the governor's press conference first. So yesterday, what the governor presented, and when he talks, he is kind of speaking my language. He's a former geography high school teacher, and so the way that he teaches when teaching about this is he uses a lot of images and other sorts of things. So what his determination was to look at the state as first of all from the standpoint of a Venn diagram, that we've got three competing goals that we've got as a state. We do want to get back to normal, but we also need to maintain social distancing and look out for the resources of our hospitals. And that sweet spot that we have right here is what our normal can become as the coronavirus spreads, because we are still seeing an increase in the number of infections here in the state. What was determined yesterday was when it comes to workplaces, there was a loosening of the restrictions that was taking place on work. So there are some people who are getting permission to go back to work soon. The concern, though, was meeting in large groups would then speed up the spread of coronavirus quite a bit. And inside of our hospitals, while they are getting better with their preparation, and he announced a collaboration between the U of M and Mayo Clinic to try to come up with testing in a model for the state. He made the point that for us, when it comes to schools and athletic activities, it's a bit too soon to go back to those things without fearing that we might see a flare-up of coronavirus happening inside of our state. So as a result, the determination was made that we'll be doing social distancing and e-learning for the rest of the school year, which is to very much my displeasure from the standpoint that I like being around you guys. But from the standpoint of keeping you healthy and others that you care about healthy, this is something that I can totally understand. And the governor was even hesitant to be all that enthusiastic about even us being available to do like the state fair in August. And so he is concerned that the insights that he's getting from doctors and scientists is that this disease is something that's probably going to have an impact on us going through the summer and perhaps into the fall. So that's something we'll share with you as we move forward. But if you are like my kids would love to get back to normal, hanging out with their friends, not being cooped up with their parents and not doing e-learning. And so if that's where you're living right now, I totally understand that. Your president also understands that we want to get back quicker. But yesterday during a press conference, he said a couple different things that got a little bit too enthusiastic. And so he was making the argument that during the heat and humidity of the summer, we should be safer with coronavirus because coronavirus degrades in sunlight. But then he took it a step further and started asking if there were ways for us to use like household cleaners and sunlight as a way to attack coronavirus once it gets inside your body. And most of the doctors thought that that was going a little bit too far with the enthusiasm. And so you've got the president, you've got states like Georgia who are very much wanting to get back to normal. And with that getting back to normal, there are competing viewpoints as far as how quick we should return to our normal. And that's going to be playing out throughout the rest of the summer and definitely through the rest of the school year. And we'll be exploring that as we look at that stuff together with one another. For you guys, though, when we take a look at what's going on with your class and with your grading, then this will become our new normal. And the pattern that we've set up hopefully has been doable for you. But if you're finding that you're having problems or struggles, we should be definitely talking about that. As you take a look at what's going on with our day-to-day, here's your Google Meet. The recording will be available later. Make sure you fill out your attendance form. But to keep your grades safe, first of all, if you've not turned in your Chapter 25 text questions, please make sure that you've submitted those in Schoology. I'll be looking through them coming up this weekend, and I'll be doing updating of your grades as we move through the remainder of e-learning. If you're finding that you've submitted something a while ago and it hasn't gotten in, unfortunately, I also teach 3 sections of AP US history, which during the best of times is a bit of a load during this time of year. But now with distance learning, trying to grade essays from afar without being able to do formative stuff in the classroom, when I assign essays like I just did to my AP kids today, everything bogs down because they take so long to grade in a detailed sort of way. And so if you've got homework that you've turned in and you know that you've got grades waiting to go and you've got parents on your back, the nice thing is that you can show them digitally when you've submitted stuff so they can at least see that you've done your work on their end. Feel free to show them this recording so that they can get some context from me, and feel free to have them reach out to me and ask about your situation. If you've got something that's been hanging out there for a while, like I got a email yesterday about test corrections, I will be working on trying to get that corrected as soon as possible. And if it's causing you hassles, I totally understand that. This whole e-learning thing has been kind of a challenge, though, trying to create electronic lessons on a daily basis and keep up with daily grading and do essays as well. And so not to seek pity, but a lot of my spare time right now is being spent just doing grading to try to tread water. And if you are frustrated, I totally get that. And I'm trying to get that done as best as I can. So keep me in the loop, especially if you want to reach out and say, hey, here's the nudge as far as trying to get this into the grade book. I won't be offended by that. I appreciate you looking out for your grades. And we're all trying to do the best that we can. So keep me in the loop so I can help you out with that. Here is your short answer assessment that I would like you to get done today. So if you click on it, you will also find this link inside your Schoology page right here. Your turn-in spot is located right underneath it. So with these short answer assessments, these are open notebook. This is just meant to kind of give me an idea of, did you understand the big ideas of what we were covering in the content that we tried to teach using both the textbook and the video notes? You will find that what the work is that we're doing right now, a large element is just exposing you to the content, giving you the experience, allowing you to put this into your own words. It doesn't perfectly match, it doesn't perfectly fill what we would be able to do in the classroom with other activities to explore this content further and more deeply. But for us also, we want to respect the fact that for you guys, you have other classes, other activities, other things that are going on. And so we don't want to overload either. So if you take a look at the document that I've got set up for you, you've got 10 questions that piggyback onto the lessons themselves. You can use your text questions, you can use your textbook, you can use other sorts of resources. But like it says up here, I'm looking for you to provide 3 or more strong analytical sentences to fully answer this question. I do not want you copying from the textbook, internet, other classmates, or other sources word for word, because of the fact that that's obviously cheating and plagiarism. I am looking for you to earn credit in this assessment by putting into your own words and understanding that will answer the full question. Failure to meet this 3-sentence minimum is going to be something that obviously will have an impact negatively on your grades. So be thorough with your analysis. But my hope is that with each of these questions, I'm not making them too tricky for you to be able to pull off. You'll just make a copy of this document, answer this like you did the last time, submit here in Schoology, and you will be good for this assessment. If you work with either John or Carrie, they have got a modified version of this that they will be sharing with you today so that they'll be able to help you to get through this assessment. And obviously, if you need additional time and you work with them, just like in the past, that's going to be understandable. If you've got questions for me, please feel free to keep me in the loop so I can help you out. Remember also that you've got an assignment due for Monday. And on Monday, what I'm expecting to have done is I'm expecting to have chapter 26, lesson 1 finished, and this ed puzzle taken care of as well. You'll also be using this video worksheet because this ed puzzle, I'm going to be using the ed puzzle to see that you've watched the video. You'll be answering questions 1 through 9 on this video worksheet. And at the end of the entire video series, you'll be submitting that video worksheet for credit. For you guys then, that's what you've got on tap for today and this weekend. On tap for today is this assessment. Get it done by tonight. If you've not submitted your chapter 25 text questions, please do that as soon as possible so I can give you your grade. Mark your attendance today so that I can give you credit for your attendance. And then this activity I'd like you to have ready to go by Monday at 10 a.m. so that when we meet, we'll be able to discuss what was going on in Vietnam at the time of the United States entry into the Vietnam War. With John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson, we're going to enter this war that we think is going to be really simple, but instead turns into a huge mess, our longest war up until the recent war on terrorism. It's going to be a gigantic war in a very small country that has very little importance to us as a country personally. But when it comes to the fear of communism spread, this is going to weave into the Truman Doctrine, containment, the fear of the domino theory that if one communist country infects another communist country, it'll spread throughout the rest of the world. And we'll find that we fall into a conflict here in Vietnam that is going to have a whole lot of issues to it that very much have lessons for us nowadays, especially as we contemplate using our military to get into other places around the world. So I'm going to double back to my my screen here. I'm looking into the chat and I see no questions at this point, but I'll be checking emails both today and throughout the weekend. So let me remind you of a couple different things. Number one, if you're disappointed that we're not coming back to school, or else if you're an athlete or in your other sorts of activities and you're disappointed that you can't come back, I am right there with you. I would much prefer to be around you guys personally, but unfortunately, this is the way that things are. My hope is, though, that you're able to protect your grade by doing the stuff that's been assigned. And if you've got any questions or concerns, definitely let me know, because our goal as adults is try to make this situation as easy for you as possible to keep your grades successful, while also not putting tons of pressure onto you guys, while also still teaching you U.S. history. And so I'm hoping I'm accomplishing all of those things. I'm also hoping that during the day, today and also this weekend, you get outside. It is supposed to be beautiful outside. But again, if you are finding that there's any ways that I can help you out during this process, please keep me in the loop so I can help you. But good luck with your work today. And I'm looking forward to looking over your stuff when you get it submitted. I'm going to stay on until everybody drops off. So if you do want to talk to me personally and you want to unmute your microphone, or else if you want to type a question, feel free to do so. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thanks, guys.